Hi everyone, today I want to share with you a wonderful story. It's not only to help you practice listening, but also to give you motivation. So, relax, listen carefully, and let this story inspire you. The battlefield was silent, except for the distant echo of gunfire. The sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of red and gold. Among the fallen soldiers, one man still breathed. His name was Daniel. He was young, brave, and honest. And now, he had only one wish left. The ground was cold beneath him. The air was heavy with smoke and dust. Daniel's uniform was torn, his body weak, but his heart was strong. He whispered to the soldier beside him. His voice was faint but clear. "Brother, if I do not make it home, please deliver this letter to my mother." The soldier nodded, tears in his eyes. Daniel held the small letter close to his chest. It was not long. It was not grand. It was simple, but true. Inside the letter were only a few words. "Mother, I have been honest in all I do. I have kept my faith. If I do not return, know that I fought with truth in my heart." Daniel smiled weakly. He knew that honesty was his shield, even in his last breath. The soldier beside him wanted to comfort him. He said, "Rest now, brother. We will carry your words." But Daniel shook his head. "No, promise me you will not only carry the letter, but also carry honesty in your own life." The soldier placed his hand on Daniel's. "I promise." Daniel closed his eyes for a moment. He thought of his home, the wooden door, the smell of bread in his mother's kitchen. He thought of the small church where he prayed as a boy. He thought of the times he chose truth, even when it was hard. He remembered when he was young, how his friends had lied to escape blame. But Daniel always spoke the truth. He was punished sometimes. He was mocked sometimes. But his heart was always free. Now, at the end of his journey, he felt peace, because he had lived honestly, because he had kept his faith. The night grew darker. The stars began to appear above the battlefield. Some soldiers wept, some prayed, some hid their fears in silence, but Daniel whispered softly, "Do not fear the end. Fear only a life without truth." His words sank deep into the hearts of those around him. Even in his weakness, he was strong. The soldier holding his hand whispered back, "You are not alone, Daniel. We will remember." And with a final breath, Daniel's spirit rose like a quiet prayer to the heavens. Siri, moral lesson. The next day, the war still raged, but in one small village, Daniel's letter reached his mother. She opened the envelope with trembling hands, her eyes filled with tears, yet her heart filled with pride. She read his words aloud. "I have been honest in all I do. I have kept my faith." The villagers gathered. They listened, and they wept. Not because he was gone, but because he left behind truth. Daniel did not leave riches. He did not leave medals. He did not leave power. He left honesty. He left faith. He left an example. The soldier who promised him that night, he too kept his word. He lived with honesty. He raised his children with truth. He walked with faith. Years later, when people asked him why, he would pause and whisper, "Because of a soldier's last wish." And so the story spread, from one heart to another, from one generation to the next. The lesson was simple. Live honestly. Keep your faith. Even when the world is dark, your truth will shine. Honesty may not make life easier, but it makes life pure. Faith may not take away pain, but it gives strength to endure. Daniel's life ended on the battlefield, but his spirit lives in every act of truth. And every time a person chooses honesty over lies, faith over fear, it is as if Daniel's voice whispers again, "Do not fear the end. Fear only a life without truth." That was a soldier's last wish. So remember, your life is more than the battles you fight. It is the truth you carry. It is the faith you keep. Be honest, be faithful, and like Daniel, leave behind a light that never fades. Because honesty and faith will always live longer than fear.